Yo, yo, yo. Felt like coming on. Got the Fed today, so it's going to be fun. I think 378 is going to get hit, whether before or after, with the possibility for a crazy move. So if it gets really crazy, I think we get cracked 375 with all the Fed shenanigans. So either we're coming up here, um, maybe with a Fed shakeout when they release, and then reverse. And then from the reversal, I don't see a big move to the upside. So at a minimum 378, 377.50, and possibly 375 cracking if it gets really crazy with the Fed. But that's a bit of a stretch, but because of the Fed, anything is possible. And it's not because it's a stretch of the distance, it's the posture of the chart. But yeah, anyway, I'm in some 380s from 92. They doubled on me, but you know, I I hung in there. They stayed green the whole time. Normally I don't do that on Fed Day, but given the setup, um, and because I'm like, there's no way they're not coming back to 378. I'm like, these are at least gonna double at a minimum, whether before or after the Fed. So normally I don't buy them ahead of the Fed. So this is not this isn't some great action, but I think it was a great trade. Here's another reason why. So, oh, by the way, it was Tuesday's move, not Monday. And no, not only did I not catch it, but I was on the wrong side of the trade. I'll explain that later. This was another rare move. And you notice the theme. You get a lot of rare moves to the upside in this bear market. And those are bear market rallies, and that's why they're rare, because they're bullshit. And I'm not saying, we're reversing this today. I'm just saying the downside I don't believe is over. Still very tough to say, because I can't say if they're cracking 360 next week or in August. I don't know. I can't say that. But the more I study the chart, I'm like, there's no way they don't crack 360. Now, is it something completely stupid? Like, see, I don't think the bull market's over. So if they're going to crack it, we're not going to rally, completely miss this, and then, come back later after we rally back to 450 or something. It's not going to work out that way. They're not going to rally to 450 to drop 100 points and come back. The only way that's going to happen is if the bull market's over. And I don't believe the bull market's over based on charts. So they're gonna hit. I would if I had a bet, I would say 360 is going to get cracked by the end of August at the latest. I think possibly by next week, depending how these few days play out here. Depending how we go into Friday, it might even get cracked next week. But right now, it's very tough to make that call. Very tough, because right now the Bears are still. By the way, you guys can hear me, right? Before I keep talking here, everything should be okay. Okay, good. All right, so here's probably the best evidence for they may possibly make a run for 400 or at least breaking 395, the attempt. As far as for me, and it's this right here. Well, and technically speaking, this is negative right now. So until this resolves itself, um, it's technically neutral, because from the bullish side, we're well below the zero line. So right now, this is neutral with a bullish tilt, a 60% bullish edge with this. But this is the biggest thing right here. And now this doesn't mean from the bullish side, we get a recross and we have to come up here. That doesn't mean that has to happen. So this is interesting how this is going to resolve itself. Because unlikely it's just going to do this. That's, I would say, unlikely unless they do this quickly. This would be a weird look, even if they did do it quickly. And then for this day to reverse and for this to hold like this after the momentum waning here, wanting to roll over, that would be very rare. Very rare. So, yeah, I really can't say, higher before lower or lower before higher. I really can't say right now. Overall, lower before higher. But how we get to the true low, I can't say. Right now, it's tough to say. This is a bull flag still. Here's a bull flag inside of the bull flag. We're above all the MAs. The MAs are all fanned out here. I mean, the bear market is fully intact. This is a fact. There's no debating this. This bear market is fully intact. Okay. So because everyone's trying to pick the bottom and think, oh, this has got to be it. This is, I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people, and here's where it gets tricky. Everyone wants 350. Any idiot back here, whatever, could have said 350. Any idiot could have said that. Duh. In my opinion, I think they don't even hit 350. I think they're going to come short. If I had to guess, I think like 354, 355. If we crack 360, my money's on 354 ish. I don't think they hit 350. I think they may play games. So you could argue both sides. Normally on a quick run to a number like that, they're going to come short normally. So because we're extended, because this is a bear market, this is a 6-month bear market here, you could also argue that they will crack it. And that, they're all the way down there, they might as well crack it. You're going to suck everyone in, 350 broke, and then they reverse it, So you can argue both sides, and it really doesn't matter what happens. You just have to wait till we get to that point. But objectively, right now, the bear market is fully intact here. It's just not a debate. So I don't think they're going to give up this posture, reverse this. I think they're going to keep going. Day to day, how it gets there, that can change. They could. I really thought, we're gonna make a push for 400, but then the more I look at it, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know because they're in position here. Now you got oil selling off. So that's going to add fuel to, recession fears, oil selling off. You got that, and then oil selling is hurting the energy sector. So that you got that. Um, so, and again, you don't have to know how the next day to day is going to play out. You don't have to know that, but right now it's really tough to say. And, because the Fed here, could we get a spike first here? Obviously, we got a big space here, so it looks like they're doing that now. This is pretty early. We got an hour to go here. So looking at the regular chart of SPY, they're going to make some kind of attempt up here. So it's tough to say. Do they crack 382? I mean, they very well could here. We'll see what happens here. So the chart, as far as the momentum, it needs a reset. So them moving here doesn't need a reset, but right now it's a little exhausted. Either more consolidation or they make a move to kind of reset the tape here, and that's what's happening right now. And then to also, that wasn't much of a move downside, so now all the shorts are unhappy right here. Now they're going to be getting stopped out here because this was very muted here. They didn't even break this pivot. They barely cracked this pivot. They got everyone sucked in on the 380 break, holding here, and we'll see how it plays out here. As far as this, I took it off, but this is a 50% retrace of this move here. So, yeah, looking at the 30-minute here, they're gonna shake around here. Are they gonna break out? Keep going? I don't know. That's a long shot. That they're gonna keep going. Here, let's flip it. It very well could play out here. It's weird because given the chart posture, going into the Fed, and the chart is it's hard to explain, but the chart needs some more time. I mean, Fed Day anything could happen Fed Day, but I just don't see how that's going to play out. Because just given this posture, there's no way. I think there's like a 10% chance. If we're up here into the Fed, that this is going to hold. I don't see the chart having enough energy. Let's say we're up here into the Fed to have the energy to make a significant move and more importantly hold the move. That doesn't mean this is going to collapse here at all. So right now it's really tough to say, because this was a bear market rally right here. This was a squeeze. I mean, just look at the candles right here. You don't have to look at the 9 here. Okay, look at this. Not until the close did it cross up all these MAs here. Okay, I mean, this is a bear market rally right here. No ifs, ands, or buts. I didn't catch it. I was in puts that were profitable that turned into a loss. Looking for a little bit more, getting caught up in that situation. And part of me wanted to get a call to offset the put, but I'm just like, man, it wasn't even, well, it was a chase. But I mean, just looking at this, this is an extremely, extremely rare move right here. Okay, that huge gap. Um, I guess you could say the same from last week. That's what happened here. So this, so it's like, again, you could argue at both sides. So I don't know. You could argue that they're going to make the run for 390 or better going forward. You could very well, absolutely say that. But at the same time, the chart's like, you can get a rug pull out of the blue. Yeah, so I think this is bullshit too. Okay, this is well, obviously this is a little bit of a squeeze, but I think this is a bullshit move here too, if you ask me. I don't trust this. And as you guys know, I prefer the upside. So this is, that's why I trade this chart. So I prefer, I'm much better from the upside. And kind of how we were back here. Just like here, I wasn't trusting it at all. The whole time we're up here, I'm just like, lower before higher, lower before higher. Right now, I can't. I'm not as confident here as I was here. Lower before higher. I'm not as confident as I was here at the moment. This very well could continue some more here up into this gap. Right now, I really can't say. Part of the reason I was able to say that up here is because of this. Well, there were many reasons. I'd have to look at showing you. The weekly was the biggest reason, but on this rotation here in the consolidation, that was part of the reasons, and it kind of recocked the gun. It reset the tape for the next move. So right now we're not really. This is a very tricky posture that we're in right now. It's tough to say. I mean, we're looking at it right now. This is set up for a push higher. I still don't trust it. Not like I didn't trust it here, but it's you got to think too. Just not just what I think, but everybody. So all the bears are still going to be fighting the tape, no matter what happens, no matter what. All the bears are going to be saying 350, even lower. All that's going to be going on at any point here. But right now we're at a spot, high or low. This is a big inflection point right here of what's going to happen here. So it's probably not going to happen easy in either direction. Whether they, are they going to go for 400 or are we going to break 360? So how that happens, it's probably not going to happen in an easy way, so to speak. There's going to be a lot of games played here, day to day. What do you guys think? Do you think we're gonna? Let's just put it this way. Are we gonna see 400, or are we gonna see 360? What's coming first? 400 or 360? If you had to pick, do we see 400 before 360, or 360 before 400? It's really tough to say. But other other than you know, there's overall, well, 2021, everyone turned bullish. Okay, in the grand scheme of things. So this whole run here, everyone's fighting it. We're gonna crash, all that stuff, and not until freaking 2021 does everyone get bullish. Okay, because that's how people are. They're not bullish until you hear those headlines of the new all-time highs and this is moving this much and that. So it took this for everyone to be like, okay, yeah, it's a bull market. Nobody was bullish this whole time. Everyone's fighting the tape the whole time. We're gonna crash. We're gonna crash. Okay, this is the top. Everyone's fighting it. So what makes this time different? So after everyone was super bullish and it was buy the dip very aggressively the whole time. Now we're in a full-blown correction, technically bear market. Everyone getting destroyed from buying the dip. You have the angle of everyone's trying to pick the bottom. So that is fully in play. And then maybe even the bears. Again, you're going to have your people, the 350 people. Those extreme bears are always going to be there. And then you could argue, too, that whoever the bears are, they're just going to hang in there. They're like, oh, come on, it's definitely hitting 350. It's definitely hitting 50. So those people hanging in there. But at the same time, with these huge moves here, these were satisfying, especially this move right here. Anyone that was short at any point after this move happened got paid crazy quickly. Okay, so this was insane, this move here. So they got paid enough and fast enough to be satisfied. And, they may be like, all right, that's it. The bottom's in. Okay, now I'm going to play the bounce. So right now it's really tough to say. And then again, there could be more bears than bulls. And then they could crack the 360. But like I said, in my opinion, I think 354 or 355 is where they're going to hit. I don't think 350 gets hit. So, that's, once they get down here, another 5 point. It's not much of a bigger move, if it plays out that way. If it plays out that way, that they only crack 355. It's not that much of a bigger move where, everyone's definitely looking for 350, maybe a 350 flush capitulation. They're gonna maybe start talking 330. But then the bulls put the brakes on, and then we get the true capitulation under 360. So all the people that are mostly bearish could quote unquote get paid, but then they get the rip your face off rally. Maybe from one day, we open under 365 somewhere, capitulate 10 points, and then reverse 10 points or more off that 355 crack. So it's that one day that you had to take your shorts off the table, and they never look back. It could be like that. Because right now this weekly posture, number one, is still in favor of the bears. Not strongly. We're very close. But at the same time, we haven't capitulated. And there's also just work to be done on the chart. So even if, first of all, this is not even crossed. Now, it doesn't have to be crossed to get a big move out of the hole. But we're so deep here, this is going to take time. This is not going to be, these it's not going to be this. It's not going to be, definitely not going to be this. Okay. This is a very, very deep cut. I mean, look where we are here. We're like, we're deeper than '08. Okay. Look at it. Look how deep of a cut this is. Okay, so we are in a bear market. I mean, just objectively, we are. And as far as the economy goes, um, I work in shipping, and right now is the busiest time of the year. Right now, we're slower than we were in the heart of winter. Okay, shipping has come to a halt. So this is evidence I can see with my own eyes that we are in a recession. Now, this doesn't mean we're crashing. And here's another reason why we're not crashing, because this is a healthy pullback, and look where we are here. So we're deeper than the crash here. Okay, and we haven't even retraced 50% in SPY. So that's another reason why this is not very unlikely a crash, because it typically doesn't play out this way here. Getting this deep here, and you haven't even retraced 50% of a historic rally. See, we haven't even gotten we haven't even gotten a bounce. Here's another reason why. So we haven't even gotten a fake out bounce on the weekly. Look at .com here. You had several crosses here, and it's hard to explain. I don't know if you guys understand, but wow, we just broke a record here. It was 14. I think it hit 15 people in the room. New highs. Anyway, so the reason, here's how you know that the bull market's not over. See here, the rallies were big enough and lasted long enough because people thought the bull market was still alive. Okay, that's why you had these crosses. Okay, these moves. These. Okay, here we go. 15 people. New all-time highs. So, you had legit week reversals. Okay. Shorts covering, people buying the dip, thinking this is the bottom. So typically when markets crash, you get, how do I put it? You don't just fall out of bed. Okay, holy shit, 18 people. Where all these people come from here? So see, the chart back tested. It filled in all the chart was filled in. Okay, so here they came back to 130 here. Here they came back to these pivots here around 120. Here's where they didn't come back here, and this was your capitulation. Okay, so people here, well, technically here on the weekly, if you look here, they came back to this one-way pivot. Okay, right here. So technically, they did backtest this. And then if you look here, they came. So, but this is a weekly. So for a real backtest, you get the breakdown from that level, and then you get a full backtest like this. This is like a textbook ideal backtest right here, where you get the breakout in a true backtest, not a. Technically, this was backtested, but not in the most ideal way. Okay, but they never look back to in a way because this was your capitulation. Okay, and then eventually, obviously, they come back here. So, yeah, the bull market's not dead. Now, do we get some? I don't even think this happens. Do we come back here to this pivot here to 330, 330, 340? I don't think so. So what I'm saying, do we get some like true capitulation on a weekly? I don't think that happens. That's just my opinion. At best, we'll see 350. Maybe they crack 350, get a spike, all that stuff. Um, but in my opinion, this 354 pivot right here, um, I think that's going to be it. Gaps do not have to get filled. Plus, this is at 50-16, not even 50. So even if they filled this 50-16 gap, um, they technically still wouldn't hit 350. But gaps do not have to get filled. I mean, just look at the history of the chart. Where is it at? Well, you can't see it on the daily here. But wait, no, right here. You could see it on the daily. Yeah, there's your Trump gap. Never look back. Hell, not only did they never fill the Trump gap, they never even came back to 220. Here, technically 225, but they never even came back to 220, let alone filling that gap, let alone coming to 220, let alone filling this gap right here. So you can't use they're gonna fill that gap mentality. It's a gamble. It's a coin toss. Nobody knows. You can't know that. But once they're down there, and especially if it's in a capitulation intraday move, that's going to be a quick. They're not going to hang around down there. So it's going to be quick. They might stay if they try to make an attempt at 350. They might stay down there for like just a couple or few 5-minute candles, if even that. That's probably going to be a real capitulation here. So yeah. Anyway, just to sum it up, it's really tough to say how this is going to play out here. As far as the weekly, we're looking at a weekly. This could hold like this, and then one more rug pull. I don't even know, man. If you had asked me, this is kind of shaky here. This is kind of shaky here for the bulls. The current posture. Obviously it's open right now. It could continue. So if it's going to continue, the bottom's not going to be in. If it continues, they're gonna push it up to 400 maybe for a week or two, flag out, and then we're gonna get a rug pull. And then wherever this goes here, maybe cracking this line, that'll be the capitulation. And then you'll get your running divergences on the Stoke weekly, and then the bottom's in. But right now, if I had to pick a side, and this is a rare look too, even for this to happen. But just like a snap down like this, and then we get the bottom. Like a double bottom off this line right here, and then we take off. Again, I'm not very confident about higher, lower, higher before lower, lower before higher. I'm not confident about that right here. I was very confident here, very confident. I was calling for conservative minimum they're filling again. I didn't know this was going to happen at all. Even when we came here, this is shocking. No bounce and just like this is shocking and extremely rare. This type of move doesn't happen. It's very rare. I mean, the last time anything like that happened was probably October 2008. These type of just gaps and this capitulation like this. Right here. I mean, come on. We didn't spend a lot of time here, but just to park here and just gapping below the prior low pivot. Like, are you kidding me? So this is some evidence to support that they're going to try to push it up higher. before lower, because this was a semi-capitulation here. So everyone got super bearish, like, oh man, this is a crashing look. So they definitely here were getting super bearish, and still could be. So it's your guess is as good as mine. How this plays out: higher before lower, lower before higher. And the other side of the coin is it was so bearish that even the bears are like, okay, that's it. That even the bears were fooled. Because it was such a crazy move that oh, there's no way they could go lower. You could argue that too. So that's why, in the current market conditions we're in, you want to take it not only day by day, but hour by hour. It's intraday how this is going to change. So yeah, see these moves here, these squeezes. I mean, look at the moves. These aren't quote unquote normal moves. These are bear market rallies. At least this one, retraced here, okay. But these are bear market rallies, just squeezing out the bears right here. This is not normal action, so to speak. Yeah, yesterday was a total squeeze. So this move right here, I mean, this is beyond rare. This is, I mean, you could just look at price action to tell you this is a squeeze. They back tested some stuff here. This wasn't horrible. They can't. This wasn't an ideal back test here. They broke this pivot and came in here again. But they let you in. Especially here, they let you in. It wasn't that bad. Not until here. Above 378. Not technically here on this candle, but you got these pivots right here. They just never looked back and squeezed it. But this look here, I mean, this is beyond rare. Oh, speaking of the daily, MACD looks just like this in SPY. Before this, obviously, we're like right here in SPY on the daily MACD. Not the same posture here necessarily, but the current cross is the same posture here, and this is where I got trapped because I thought they were going to crack one more time, and then we're going to get a divergence and then put a bottom in. So they got me yesterday. And what's unfortunate too, because I hate the gaps. Normally you get follow through. It doesn't mean that. I was looking for maybe 370. I forgot my target yesterday. Let me see right here. I had well, my first target was here at 72.75, but I think above that it was like 370. Maybe they could crack under. That was maybe. I was gonna wait to see how the chart was when we got there. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because and one thing here was a smoking gun, and I should have trusted my gut on this. It was the MAs. How extended we were on this hourly, the 30-minute. And funny enough, I first put in a bid on the 375 calls for $1. They hit $6. Okay, my first reaction was, we're gonna get a bounce. I think here, and then I forgot exactly, but I think so this bounce, I was looking for the bounce before this happened. So I didn't get sucked in. I don't think short. I think I was already short going into this, and then I added. But So here's a 30-minute. This is ugly. So I didn't trust my gut feeling of the posture, the MAs, like what's going to happen here. Part of the reason I did go short rather than long is because normally on these gap days they hold it together. So everyone wants to fight the tape and buy the dip, or thinking, okay, we're gonna, we're bouncing. And unfortunately, this was the day that was a catastrophic disaster of not only bouncing but completely reversing this entire gap. So, and speaking of completely reversing this gap, this huge move, this could be, you can make the argument that we're not going to get a big pullback um, because of this short squeeze. So we'll see how it plays out here. We got 30 minutes left. I think we hit 18 people earlier. They might still be in here because it only shows you if you're like actively looking at the room. But that's definitely a record. 18 people. Yeah, so you guys are just listening, which is fine because participants. I'm the only person in the room. The participant. So we'll see what happens here. Right now, it's looking like we're gonna get follow through here to the upside. So we very well may get some kind of spike here. And again, Fed day, anything could happen. But right now, given this posture here, we're getting a little bit exhausted going into the Fed. So I would be shocked if they don't at least spike 383. Well, being conservative, 382.5. On a Fed spike, they're not going to get there before the Fed, but on a Fed spike, I would be shocked if at a minimum 382.5 for sure is going to get spiked. Likely an attempt there. Yeah, it's and what's crazy too, again, this is speculation here. Well, before I say speculation, so we got this big pocket here, so 378 is my number today. Anything beyond that is possible, but this is a high probability place to cover. Doesn't mean play the bounce. You could play the bounce. It's riskier, but at a minimum, a very high probability target to the downside. Beyond that, it's anything's possible on Fed day. But what I was going to say is this is pure speculation here, but because of the case I laid out for the downside, you could get some kind of crazy just rug pull intraday. So like a big move down. So let's just say today Fed day. So in today's scenario would be coming back down to 374. And the reason I say that is I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying that type of scenario is possible given the current market conditions. If we're going to be breaking that 360. Because it's likely going to happen sooner than later. They're not going to take another month just to make it to 360. So what are your guesses? Are we all right? Not saying we're going to hit these numbers. But if you had to pick just today with the Fed, today, do we have a better chance at hitting 385 or 375? Today. 385 or 375? Today. What do you guys think? And not based on what I said. Like going in today, or what were you guys thinking is going to happen? It seems to me like people are a little bit more bullish now, kind of based on some YouTubers and just kind of other chat rooms. It seems like people are tilted bullish. This is interesting right here. So everything's right now wishy-washy because even this posture right here, like right now going into this new candle that just started, okay, right now is just indecisive right here. So technically speaking, the bears have the edge here because we're crossed down. However, we're still bouncing. This obviously could cross. All I'm just trying to say is going into the Fed, um, they have a slight edge here, but this can all easily change on any Fed day. I mean, this isn't just with the current market conditions. I mean, any Fed day, but I'm just saying right now going into the Fed. The Fed's always a gamble, but there's sometimes you have a better posture going in the Fed that the posture kind of shows its hand of where this is likely going to go. So like if we were like right here going into the Fed, so this. So let's say right here. Kind of take, you could even just say right here. Don't really take the moving averages and the effect. We're just looking at this posture right here. So if we were down here just getting this cross, and we were on the next candle here going into the Fed, depending on where I could get in long, I'd probably be long into the Fed. If this last candle that closed was this candle here with this posture, this is very, very unlikely with just getting cracked open. Obviously we could get an intra candle dip, big washout, but it's going to be a buy the dip post Fed. If we were like this is anyone's guess. And actually, if you ask me, it's probably going to be a buy the dip. Now that I look at it, this is kind of gut feeling based on this posture. This has room to reverse and turn over here, but this look staying down for this candle and then another candle, I see this being a buy the dip if we break lower here. We'll see what happens. Pure speculation here. So they're only $1 away from cracking on 82.5 here. I got to look at the trend line, but you also have some trend lines here they didn't back test. This one they never came back to. This one they did. This one they never came back to. And the squeeze right here, the darker one. Here's a lighter one. I don't know where that's from, but actually I think I know where it's from. Friday. Yeah, that's from Friday. So they didn't really give, you can look at the 1 minute, but they didn't really give a good back test here on these trend lines. So, um, which kind of lines up with your 378 as far as these go. This one wasn't bad. They came back on the 5 minute. This one wasn't even touched. See this one was right here. We consolidated. So there's some backfilling to do on the chart going forward. When they get there or how they get there, who knows? But there's some work to be done here. So now this is interesting. This is just like that hourly. It really could go either way. Right now, this is very shaky here for either side. And actually going into the Fed, I would not be comfortable bullish with this posture going into the Fed. Even after the Fed, this rotation here that they used up, this is unlikely to this is a tricky posture here, let's just say. So if they cross up here going into the Fed, this is not going to hold. Like, I don't even know if I've ever seen it look like that. If this were to cross up going into the Fed, that's unlikely to hold on the stoke here. Either way, it's very tricky. So, you can look at it a lot of different ways here. That 382 is a very key pivot. So from the bullish side, they already kind of battled it a little bit, so it's been weakened. You could argue that. I didn't even look at the ES. I've been mainly looking at SPY, but I could look at ES too. Here's another interesting thing: is the 15-minute. Um, Anything can happen Fed day, but on the 15 minutes, pretty heavy chart. Has a lot of weight to it when you're talking intraday. And so this could do this, but it's a let's just put it this way: Fed day is always risky, but given the posture going into Fed day, the long side is very, very, very risky, given the chart posture. Like this 15-minute, we do have the cross here. Then you got the 20. That's exhausted. It's trying to flatten out here. It doesn't mean it has to roll over, but it's to keep this look here. This is okay. So this is the next candle before the Fed. And yeah, it's really tough to say here. I will say if they break low day, there's a very high probability at 378. Not, I'll put it this way: 378 is a place you want to cover if they break low day. Depending on the chart, you can have some big flushing. Everything can happen so quickly and all that, but you definitely want to take half off the table at 378 if they get there. Yeah, the 4 hour is slightly in favor of the bulls. 30 minutes very shaky here. Um, I wouldn't be. This isn't confidence inspiring for the bulls to hold. They could spike all that stuff, but going forward, I would not be one. I wouldn't want to be holding long, um, or at a minimum looking to sell the next day on any move higher based on this posture here. All right, so the flag target is 82.75 ish. So let's just say 82.80 target from this 5 minute flag here. Yeah, I added Amazon to my list here now that it's cheaper. I mean, I'm gonna stick to SPY, but something you could trade now because it's cheaper. Um, but looking at this 15 minutes, pretty um, tough to say here. I mean, it looks like we're definitely spiking higher at a minimum. Possibly a continued squeeze. This looks like this could squeeze higher, and off that squeeze, we could get a reversal, possible reversal off a squeeze higher. Oh yeah, by the way, Friday my mic was making a lot of noises. I was replaying the video and it was really annoying. So if that happens again, let me know. It's probably you're hearing just like the mic bouncing off the headset. If you hear that again, let me know. All right, I haven't looked at ES, so this is looking like a push higher. Man, this is shaky. The ES 15 minute is shaky. Man, this is looking like they're gonna reverse this tape by the close based on this posture. We are still in this bear flag here, and then you have these squeezes inside of a bear flag. The 4 hour has reset a decent amount. That going forward, it can take its next leg down. It's not like we're here or like even here getting tight. It's already kind of played out here and it's been reset, so to speak. So a lot of things could play out here. And got this line here they never came short on this move here. So they could be gunning for that 395, that 400 attempt coming out of here. And maybe today kicks off a squeeze above these pivots. That's another thing. What are the chances they don't break these pivots, if only on a spike today? Hey, what's up, V? So you see how everything I laid out for the past, how long it's been? The past hour. Everything I laid out here. you can really make a case for either direction going forward. You really could. I mean, just looking at this, you could surely make the case like, oh, we didn't get a deep enough pullback. That this is going to continue first, at least above 3860 first before they break here at 3810. So you really could argue both sides here. And man, actually looking at this, maybe this is a smoking gun right here. It might be right here. I didn't even look at this. This is kind of exhausted. Where I would say there's a better chance that this is going to maintain across, if only for a couple candles on this hourly. Yeah, you know what? That might be the smoking gun here. That we're going higher. I didn't even see that. So maybe they go lower before higher. So if they hit 378 first to the downside, on a washout, that may be a great dip buy to buy some 380s off that low. So I didn't notice this until now. Well, I didn't look at the hourly until the last time I looked at it. We were on these two candles, I think, or here. I didn't see this candle or this candle. So, going into the Fed here in a few minutes, this is looking like we're going to get continuation. So if we break lower, 378 or 37.95, if they come down here, would be likely a good dip buy on a washout shakeout. So it's very unlikely this candle on the hour is going to reverse here. Meaning this is likely on this next hourly to have follow through. That doesn't mean the next hour is going to close up here or whatever. It just means the next hour is unlikely to be very bearish given this posture here. Okay, when it comes to that stuff, there's no guarantees because you see crazy stuff here. Oh yeah, let me go back to that SPY 5-minute. This extremely, extremely rare move right here. It was more rare on SPY than it was on ES, but right here, this is so rare. A move from below the zero line and not crossing. Okay, so this posture is rare. That it did this, and then from this, we never got across all day and just grinded up all day. This is very rare right here. Okay, very rare, and that's why I didn't get it. That's why I didn't buy it. Funny though, I was looking at 375s for $1 down here, so shoulda, coulda, woulda that. But a very rare move right here on this MACD right here. Oh, and I think that's what I was talking about on Friday. I forgot what chart or what time frame, but the point is, price dictates momentum. Okay, so this being extremely rare, okay, in theory, if today wasn't Fed day and we just kept grinding, like this could just continue. This is going to go where price goes. So yes, it's extremely rare for that to happen, extremely. But the point being is, you can't, it's all probabilities. I mean, that's what any setup, any trade, any technical analysis is. So what I'm getting at is this hourly on the ES. It's very unlikely, given this close right here. Here, not so much here, but here. After this is kind of reset already, this is very unlikely that it's going to hold for another move down. That would be the rare move. That would be the surprise that so we're going to close like this with a quote-unquote bullish cross. So all I'm saying is it's unlikely at a bare minimum that we're going to snap back down for another candle. That's the unlikely situation. It doesn't mean it can happen, as I just explained on that 5-minute MACD. These are all pieces of the puzzle here. And given a Fed day, you can't just assume anything. The moves and the volatility is insane. That you can't be betting on any really on any setup going into the Fed, and then even after, things can change so quickly. So yeah, one more time. So that 5-minute MACD and SPY yesterday coming out of the hole is very rare to get that look. Under zero and never crossing and just grinding into the close. No, that was a squeeze. That's not normal market behavior. That was a squeeze. So given that rare posture, this is another rare posture that it's unlikely we're not going to get some follow through here. Wherever this may take us. And follow through doesn't mean we have to rip up. It just means we can't be printing red candles for this to keep moving. Kind of like MACD on a consolidation right here. So this is cracked open here, but the move was over. So we kept positive here and green, but we went nowhere. So it kept a non-bearish look by just not doing anything. So the same with this thing. This could continue up in a consolidation. It doesn't mean we have to. It doesn't mean we have to rip higher, is what I'm saying, for this to keep moving up. It just means we can't be very bearish. Yeah, you must have told a lot of people here. We almost hit 20 people in the room. That's a record. Alright, here we go. Shit, let me get to the chart here. Okay, so here's the 380, 8250 coming up here. Probably an attempt up here at 83. I mean, given this posture right now, they're definitely pushing up for at least a few more candles. We're going to at least hold up here. So if we get a flush, 378. 378 is the number. Looking how we are here, they're probably pushing up first. And if they don't, well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Alright, so down, up, down. Is that going to be it? Down, up, down? So far we got down. It probably should push it up. There we go. Okay, so we got down, up, down is a possible scenario here. Okay, so they're going to make the run for 383 here. So far it's just 382.5. That was the one I guaranteed. Now it's anyone's guess what's going to happen since they already hit 82.5 here with that rejection. So you needed this to hold at least 382 at a minimum, well 382.25 minimum for a possible 83 run. So this is very shaky right now. Very, very shaky. This is probably going to go down. If you ask me, they're going to pull the rug here. Again, very shaky. Don't. I wouldn't even be scalping. I wouldn't be doing anything right now. So what's that low? We got 8107 for the low break. 8107 for the low break. It's looking like they are going to break lower here. Given this posture though, um, they could kind of hang around, chop around a bit first. Yeah, they might attempt to hold this. Let's see what that 5 minute looks like. Oh yeah, that's shaky. That 5 minute shaky. They're probably pulling the rug here on this 5 minute. I don't think they can hold this together here on this 5 minute. I don't think they could hold it together on the 5 minute. Okay, we're breaking lower here. Yeah, we got a divergence. We're breaking lower here. That's my guess right now, that this is going to break lower here. Looking at it from this normal point of view here. So 380, I'm sorry, 378 if they break that low day here. Right now it's still very shaky, but if I had to guess, I would say lower. We're going lower. What's the news? Anything? They saying anything? I mean, it doesn't matter what they say, but I hope. Well, right now I can't say the way it played out here. If they broke lower, it's I can't say right now. I can't say right now. They're going lower, but man, yeah, it's tough to say. If they get there quickly, I'm talking, on the next candle, if we see 378, I'm gonna be looking to buy a dip if the chart firms up. If on the next candle, we need a spike. This has to happen quickly to get everyone bearish and then reverse off of that. You guys listening to anything CNBC or any what the news is? I mean, obviously we know they're cutting. It's only the minutes, but okay. So now that was a shaky close right there. That was a very shaky close for either side. Right now, this is still very shaky right here. This is very shaky either direction right here. Very tough call here. There's no trade setup right now. It's a pure roll of the dice, long or short. The 5 minute there, it was sure looking. If they could take back 381 on this 5 minute here, then we should get some follow through to at a minimum breaking 379 and hopefully 378. But right now this is a very shaky look. And actually, now that I'm looking at the 15 minutes, very shaky for either side. The bulls could push a little higher here, but I don't see that holding at all. It's just this is a very fat days are always tough to know what's going to happen, but man, this chart posture here, it's very tough to say. Just like the daily I was talking about, I don't know if they're going higher before lower or lower before higher. It's anyone's guess, and same with today right now. Anyone's guess here. Yeah, the 15-minute looks like the Bulls could spike it, but man, it's just okay. Now it's looking more like they're going to take another leg up here. Very shaky, very very shaky. And it's getting hot as hell in my room. Again, this is another reason why I don't want to be streaming. It was beautiful. It's not that hot out, and it was really nice in my room. And now ever since I got on, man, hot as shit in here. Yeah, I don't see this upside holding. So there's your spike. They hit the 383. They spiked that. They should get some more follow through here. That could rapidly change with the posture here. So, but right now, normally if this wasn't Fed day, possibly a run at 383.5 at a minimum. That's interesting. We've got a trend line there. I don't know where did that line come from. All right, so that's a pretty important trend line coming from. Okay, so that's a key trend line here for the bears that they're battling out right now. And this is a very tricky posture on all time frames here. Very tricky on all time frames. It's unlikely the upside holds. But at the same time, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I would be shocked at a minimum if they don't break low day. I think that's a very unlikely scenario to not at least crack low day. On the higher time frames, a break at low day shouldn't hold. However, given this posture here, and I don't know, this is a very tricky Fed day. More so than any other day. All right, so if they could take back 381 here, this 5 minute really needed to firm up. So yeah, that wasn't good. It's not over for the Bears, but to really kind of firm up this posture here. Again, Fed day, they could paint a candle right here to 380 on this candle and just kind of crack this open for a low day break or better. So far, how I said, I don't see the upside holding. Well, it's attempting to not hold right now with that tail candle. Two tail candles right here. The posture wasn't great to hold a move higher. Doesn't mean we're going to 370 or 375, but it wasn't a good posture for the Bulls to hold new highs. Oh, and the VIX. I forgot to mention that the VIX on a daily looks good. Forgot to mention that. This looks very good here. Check it out. Right here on the daily, this was some more evidence that even if they break out on the SPY, We're going to get a nice divergence here for one more move, hopefully the capitulation. Alright, so now this 15 minute on the SPY is shaping up nicely for a low day break. VIX is looking good here too to try to reverse this move down. See this 15 minute? Alright, so at a minimum they're breaking low day. Likely 379, and beyond that 378, maybe 377.50. I got me a 380 at 32 cents. Forgot to mention that. 32 cents on that 380. Alright, fully green. Back to fully green. Up over 50 bucks now. So, because of the wishy-washy posture, this is likely going to happen quickly. I mean, it always happens quickly on Fed Day. But what I'm saying is, I hope it happens quickly, and I would love for them to just spike. Let's say on the next 15-minute candle, we see the low of day, and then that might open up the possibility for a nice reversal off that low. We got to see how the chart plays out here. Oh, I had my volume off. I didn't hear the bells right there. We had 381 break bell. Yeah, this 1 minute here is definitely pretty ugly here. It's needs some work, a lot of work to be done here. So if we are breaking that 380 or low day here, as of right now, you got time to get in. This 15 minute, I would really like them to close under 380, 381.5 at a minimum. So under here at a minimum, ideally, under 381.10. But that doesn't look like that's happening. Definitely not 381. But with the 15-minute posture, as it looks even right now, we should get followed through to the downside. Alright, that's not a great close. My chart froze. That's not a good close at all in that 15-minute. That's a very ugly close. It doesn't mean they can't go lower. It's just not an ideal close. Oh, what's up, IT? Nice. Yeah, I was down yesterday too with that squeeze. So yeah, right now the Bears should be making some kind of attempt at 380. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat myself. Yeah, the posture on both sides right now is very, very wishy-washy. So I was hoping they would have been there already by now, because I was going to buy the dip at 378 or better. I don't see them going past 378. if they go lower. So we got a 15-minute close here. If they go to 378, it should happen in a relatively quick fashion. So breaking this, this is a high wave doji. So there's a $2.50 move on the break of this wick right here, which takes us to like 378 and change, 378.15. If we could close below 380.70. Okay, so as expected, we're still in the bear market. Things are playing out. Everything I laid out earlier, people are trying to pick bottoms here. The chart is not in any position to be picking a bottom. The chart has not shown that it's even trying to put in the bottom on the weekly. There's no concrete or conclusive evidence on the weekly that there's evidence to show that the trend is waning, but there's no concrete evidence that says the trend is over to the downside. Wow, there's the first BS messages. From those Indian scammers. Are they gone now? Can you still see it? Alright. Yeah, it's just a small dick incel Indian scammer. Nothing to worry about. Like, who falls for that crap? Like, porn is free. Who falls for that crap? I mean, come on. Porn has been free for a long time. So yeah, given this posture here, there's still work to be done here. It's unlikely they're gonna, break 3D on this candle here. Still shaky, still very shaky. And man, is it hot in my room? I reported and all that crap. Yeah, you know what I tell the Indian scammers? I tell them along the lines of like, do you know what the least desired men in the world are by women? It's true. The last time I told that guy, he said, I don't know. He's like, oh, you? All right. It sucks that we didn't have a quick move here. because the quicker the better. What does that mean? Bakrachad? What does that mean? Oh, huh. Yeah. So, man, this is tough. This is probably gonna crack open here. I think this is gonna follow through here. It's This is a high risk trade. You could go short that this we're gonna break low day. There's a slight risk that if this peters out, we could get a recross, but I think we're gonna get that 379, probably 378 push. See, the 4 hour here is looking, you know, the potential's here. It doesn't mean this is going to crack open or anything, but we got our pullback. Um, this is the big pullback here. We got our big pullback, and now the bears are attempting to kick off. This is another bull flag right here. This is a very quick move here, and then hanging around, flagging out here. So this is in position to kick off the next push lower if we're going lower first, obviously. But we had our pullback, our consolidation. Not a big move down today. That's unlikely. Very unlikely, we get a big move down today. But going forward, this may kick off the next leg down, and then we go lower before higher. We'll see what happens here. Oh yeah, okay. This is very shaky right here. This is interesting. Very shaky look right here. Very, 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 very shaky. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier with this. Before you came in here, Vlad, is this. So this is very unlikely to not, at a minimum, not go down a lot right here. This is what I was talking about, and that's why when I looked at the inverse, I said it was shaky. So this is unlikely because of this candle close. It's very unlikely closing here, and then we're just going to do this. That's very unlikely. So any push lower is unlikely to hold intraday. Not any push, depending how big of a push is what I'm saying. And so that's why when I was looking at here on the inverse, this is very shaky for the bears right here. Very, very shaky. But it is Fed day, and anything's possible on Fed day. A very shaky look right here with this posture. That's not going to hold. I mean, we got 30 more minutes here, so wherever this closes and then another cross, I don't know, but if it's a big move lower or relatively big, it's unlikely to stick as far as intraday. Going forward, that's another story, but yeah, looks like we're going to get some kind of, if they break low day, it's not going to happen until close to or into power hour. Yeah, pretty quiet Fed day, just generally speaking. Pretty quiet compared to the norm. And again, that's everything I laid out with the chart posture is supporting of that, because it's really a wishy-washy posture on both sides. to hold, to hold a big move higher or hold a big move lower. Not a confidence-inspiring posture on either side. And we're already after the Fed now, so all the games of the swings, they had their chance to play out already. So now, even after that's done, the posture is still very wishy-washy. Alright, so that's a pretty important trend line right there, coming from overnight here. So if you look here, this is the entire day's trend line here, resistance line. So we have that, plus we have this shelf of thickness here. These pivots here at around 38.15 to 20. What was your short? Wow, look at that. Holy shit. Like I said, wishy-washy. Wishy-washy on both sides here. So you're gonna break the 30. You're gonna short the 30 break. So I wonder what they said. They must have said something for this move here. Something kicked that off. Yeah, I mean, as a scalp, that would have been fine, but for right now, this would have had to get away a bit, and then on a pullback, you could get an entry because of these MAs right here. So, because of these MAs, that doesn't mean this had to happen. This was a surprise. But at a minimum, you want to let it get away and then get back in on the back test because of these MAs right here. They're not in position to not look back. So right now this is tricky. I wouldn't be doing anything for either side here. So yeah, this was a big move here, but I don't trust that right now. And I don't trust the fact that they didn't even break, this pivot right here at 38.20. So that would be the surprise if that's it, that they didn't even break that, let alone low day. So yeah, this is a surprise. What did they say? This is a big rip right here. 25 handles. Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it is. Again, they could push 400. They very well could. The chart is in position. Now it's going to look even better here. The chart is in position for another push higher right now. It's just still very shaky. So we are in position here on this daily here to get a push. The posture's there, but I don't know. I really don't know if they're going which direction. I really don't know. It's very tough to say here. Okay, so that might have just put a nail in the coffin for the Bears right here. Now that I look at it like this, that very well may have put the nail in the coffin. That very well may have done it right there. I mean, obviously anything's possible, but because right now also you had up, down, up is the move. Usually you get 3 moves: up, down, up. So this very well may be it right here. And now the chase is on. I'm not saying they're going to 385, but you know, if they hit that, then they're definitely going to 386. So yeah, this is looking. Now the bulls definitely took it back, and obviously not just because of this candle here, just because of the posture. So now, if they get to 385 or 386 sooner than later, that would be a good minimum, you know, scalp, at least a point, if it happens in a quick fashion. Because that 384 break, well, the high day break is going to get you 384. Breaking that's going to get you 385. And then that's the last pivot before 386 and beyond. So yeah, this is very unusual for a Fed, even though it's only the minutes. You know, this is a 2-point range the whole time here. Very unusual. Yeah, this is unfortunate because, you know, you got to chase that move. You know, you got to chase this move now, so this sucks. Because now they screwed everyone on the move. You got to chase that move as it's being chased. And the potential was there, you know, if they broke down here and we still got the move. I mean, you could have caught the move from 378 here. They came back down there. So that sucks. Yeah, this was a shitty Fed day. You know, now the only move you had was this chase right here. So far, that was the move. So looking like 386 is going to get hit. You know, not right away here, but yeah, right now there's no good setup either way. There wasn't really the whole time, and there still isn't. You don't want to be shorting this. I wouldn't even. I mean, if they could do one more quick push in the next few candles on the 1 minute, you know, you could build a scalp on the short side, maybe back to 384. But otherwise, right now, you're just guessing. Either way, short or long. I mean, you got the bullish tilt right now, no doubt about it. But it's still very shaky to be getting in, even on a scalp. So this played out how it normally does play out. So far, we still got 25 minutes here. So right here. So yeah, so see now they're breaking these pivots here. Well, they already did, but you know, you got 385 and then 386, and then who knows if it gets crazy beyond that. But what I said earlier about this hourly right here is playing out how it normally does. So this posture here. So going into the Fed, it's unfortunate in the way it happened. I mean, that's how the market's rigged. I mean, I don't know if I'll call it rigged. I'm sure that was the algos. Maybe something was said triggering the algos for that. But either way, how it happened, the algos, market makers, however you look at it, they didn't. You know, you didn't get in, no matter the reason of what caused it. You couldn't get in. You know, look at the 1 minute. You couldn't get in here. I mean, yeah, you could argue right here. You know, they didn't even come back here. let alone pausing for a candle. This is just a squeeze. So what was your entry? Well, you could have used a break. You could have used the break of this pivot right here at 33, 32.50. You could have bought that break. You caught a break here up 36. That was your entry. To be in, as the move was kicking off. That was your entry. They didn't even give you one doji or nothing. It was just bang, 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 bang. Okay, get out of here with that trash, you idiot. The stock hood, multiple reports. Shut up. We don't have any fools in this room to be buying your crap. So anyways, Chase. But anyway, getting back to the hourly. This was the smoking gun here on this close. Right here. Them closing that hourly going into the Fed, as I said with the posture, it's very unlikely you get a big move to the downside with this posture, and then equally unlikely for any move lower, any decent move lower to hold with this this pinch here going into the Fed. Alright, it is ridiculously hot in my room. You know what? I might end it soon. Because, we didn't get a good entry here anyway, so this is probably going to just chop out and grind out. I hope they push 386, like, on the next candle, or two. Because then at least you could get a short back down to 384. Back down to this pivot here. And who knows beyond that. So that's the only trade going forward right now. Unless you just want to YOLO and chase the move to 386. Alright, I'll see you. Now you also have the possibility, maybe they don't hit 385 because everyone wants that round number. I mean, given the posture right now, it's very unlikely they don't hit 385 unless we get some crazy reversal on this 15-minute. If we get a tail candle on this or a reversal, I mean, that's the only way they're not going to hit 385. But if they could close really just at a minimum, nah, really, they got to hold 384, 383.5 at a minimum to see 385. So at a minimum, they got to hold 335 on this 15-minute, and well, there you go. So they're going to hit 385, obviously. Probably 386. Because as I said, once you start breaking those levels, it really opens it up. But yeah, you know what? It is really hot. I don't even know if I'm going to stay any longer. So I think I'm just going to wrap it up here because, again, it was not even remotely warm in my room until I got on stream, and now I'm here literally sweating from kicking off a stream. And like I said, yeah, it's nice outside, so I have the air on, but because it's nice out and the air is on, it was perfectly good temperatures the whole time in my room until I started here. So yeah, if you guys want any trade ideas, a 386 run before this is over, a 386 short for the move back down to 384, that's a trade idea. I'm going to be looking at that. But for right now, yeah, I'm not in the stream, and I don't know when I'll be back. We'll see about that.
but it is just way too hot in here. And again, that was one of the main reasons I didn't want to be streaming all the time, because I can't live like this and be sitting in this hot room trying to stream. So you keep missing trades. Why don't you take the trades? Next time when you have that feeling, just pull the trigger. Here was your retest here at 83.20. Eat some more red meat. Get that testosterone built up. You gotta step in there and do it. Stop missing it. Alright, guys. I'll see you when I see you. Later.